Greetings and good day, my fellow Bobs, because we are back for another installment of the fastest growing podcast sensation, Happy Valley, a For All Mankind podcast. I'm Donnie.
And I'm Brian.
And we are here today to talk all things For All Mankind, Season 5, Episode 6, No Sudden Moves. As I go over to the fader and bring the music down, nice and gently, because I don't want to have any sudden moves here.
Good.
Brian, what did you think about this episode, man?
I enjoyed this episode. I thought that I wonder if I rate too high on stuff because I can't think of this season anything where I'm like, oh, I need to clip this or I need to rewatch that part.
But nothing on this show?
No, this season.
Okay.
Gotcha. This show, yeah. Oh, 100%. But most of that's going to be from 1, 2, and 3. Yeah. But it was a good story movie or episode, moving the plot along. Mm-hmm. I enjoyed the kind of how they unfolded the Civil War. I thought it was very realistic. And we got a lot of movement. So I enjoyed it. What did you think, Donnie?
I gave this, buckle up. Wait, did you give it a number? I didn't hear a number from
8.
you. I want to hear a number.
8.
All right, so Brian gives it an 8. Buckle up, people. I'm giving this a 5. Like, it was a mid-season, mid-story setting, table setting, all of the things. It's a setup episode, and I didn't love it, and I didn't hate it. It is the most medium average episode that we could possibly have. Not as bad as how I felt about the premiere on that first watch, where I gave it like a 4. But when we did our texting on Thursday night after we watched this thing, I threw the 5 out there and I watched it again and I liked it better the second time I watched it, but I'm not moving my score. Okay. This was a medium, mid-show, whatever. Let's get on to the action. It's fine. And we're gonna break everything down. I still love this program. I'm not walking away from it by any means, but it was a 5.
I agree, or I disagree.
I agree, disagree. Okay. Yeah. Whatever.
I agree to disagree.
Okay. There you go. Catchphrases and euphemisms sometimes are hard.
Yeah.
We call it in my house. You just Donnied it. Like,
I can definitely see why you feel that. There were, again, this is not a 10 of all TV or even an 8 of all TV, but for a episode 6, I'm happy. And we moved a lot of stuff. We had some moments for Leda that were awesome. We had some moments for Dev that were
holy cow.
What's going on with Dev right now? Who knows? And Miles.
Okay. I texted Brian last night and all the words that I said were, I love Miles.
Here's the thing. 2 years ago, episode 6, I was like, does anybody not have a car battery they can beat the life out of him and just throw him out of an airlock?
Talk about redeeming a character.
I loathed him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now I'm like,
you're not alone.
He might be my favorite character right now.
Which is incredibly unexpected. So
yeah.
Kudos, even in a mid-tier episode. I love Miles.
Yeah.
Did not have that on the bingo card.
I don't want to talk about this throughout the whole episode, but I continue to be dumbfounded by the lack of attention to scale that this season has. And as we get through it, we see Happy Valley. Happy Valley is screwed. Like, Happy Valley is done. Like, they're in big trouble. But you wouldn't know that until they show it, and then you got to figure it out. Because as far as I'm concerned, from what they're showing, there's 20 people that rioted.
Yeah.
And those 20 people are in MOCC, which shouldn't be MOCC, it should be MOCC.
It's MOCC, MOC, and then there's another C, so you just have to say it out loud.
MOCC.
MOCC.
It should be MOCC.
MOCC.
Or MOCC. But as far as I'm concerned, the show showed us that there's 20 people that righted. Those 20 people are now in MOCC, but that's not the case. This is the 5,000 people.
Which they did say. They gave the number. There's 5,000 people at Happy Valley. So there you go.
But apparently 4,800 of them have destroyed everything.
No, they're going to their quarters like everybody is.
I guess.
Palmer and his legion of peckers or wherever they are right now. But no Palmer in this episode, by the way.
No Palmer. That was weird.
It was weird, but it was fine.
We got the ghost of Palmer.
We got the ghost of Palmer, the evidence of Palmer.
Palmer is doing things.
Caches and stocking up and getting ready for whatever showdown is going to happen. So again, setup episode. Totally fine. Not everything can be an 8, 9, or a 10. And this is the one that wasn't one of those. That's what my
or it was. I don't know.
Oh, man. Guys, we have 2 things just here at the top to celebrate and acknowledge. Number one, we've asked you guys to do reviews, and we have 6 reviews that came in this week. So thank you for your kindness there.
Yeah.
Linda, she said, 2 guys, easy to listen to, discussing the For All Mankind excellent show. Some review shows go over the top, but I love the straightforward chat with a bit of fun humor to keep things interesting. I listen to many podcasts about Apple TV shows, and this is one of the best. So thanks, Linda.
Thank you.
JJ said, I've listened to you guys since season 1, I guess season 1 of us, because we really started covering this during season 4 of the show. Keep up the great work. Any chance for a review episode of Project Hail Mary? Question.
What is this? Is that a TV show? The Apple TV show?
Dude, I can't wait for you to watch this movie and be like, how did I miss this on the big screen? I was wrong. It's going to change your life. It's really that great. It's that good. Like, I realize I'm a nerd and I hype stuff, but Project Hail Mary is fantastic.
I almost don't want to see it at this point.
It is absolute cinema, bro. You got to get on board. Deadhead Dan says, good chemistry and smart takes. One of my go-tos for fam. Cover Star City 2, please. We had several comments about that, Brian. Maybe we can talk about that at the end today.
Okay.
GC Beach says, I'm one of the boomers that you mentioned in your last podcast. I just started listening to you this season for All Mankind. I'm enjoying how you summarize and talk about the episodes and the banter between the two of you. A smart podcast for a smart show. Keep it up. Thanks, GC.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. Witless says, I love this pod. I look forward to the next TV episodes, but I look forward in equal measure to listening to Donnie and Brian the next day. Many happy thumbs up. This last one, I love this username. It is Urkel Bot Murder Plot. And Urkel says, Donnie and Brian clearly love the fam universe. I can't watch next week's show until I listen to their recap episode of last week's. So that's awesome. Appreciate the kindness, y'all.
Yeah, thank you, everybody.
A kind word costs nothing, and it does make a difference in people's lives. So there's your philosophical comment today for the day. Yeah, it's a good word. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Also had some kindness on YouTube as well. Christopher says, I love the podcast. Appreciate your acknowledgement of the nuances between both sides and some of the most potentially controversial issues. He's got a prediction here as well. I'll go ahead and throw it out. He says, every season climaxes with the situation about to go nuclear, sometimes literally, only to be diffused by a major feel-good event. This season, the situation will be about to explode and word will come back about finding life on Titan, and it will create a moment of grand reevaluation of our place in the universe. So, solid prediction there, Christopher.
Yep.
We do also have some emails. We'll get to those at the end. Of course, that email address is happyvalleyfam@gmail.com. FAM, not FAMK, because people who don't do that say that they don't know acronyms.
We're not stupid. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
There goes all that kindness equity that we just received.
Out the window. Just so you know, we did get a bunch of reviews. Very seriously, very much appreciate that. That helps us grow. But your job is not done. There's more of you. We would love more reviews this week if you would be so kind.
Yeah, for sure. So a lot of reviews, a lot of email too, which I don't know more about this kind of stuff, Brian, but like for every one person who actually emails, like how many other people don't email? There's some sort of percentage ratio.
Something like 10,000.
Oh, wow.
Maybe 20,000.
Okay. I was thinking maybe like 3% of people actually reach out and contact or something. This is the kind of nerd stuff that you would just know and I thought you would just throw something out. But thanks for
no,
making.
I have no idea. But we'll just do the roach rule. If there's one, there's 1,000.
There you go. Excellent.
No, but honestly, thank you. We love hearing from you guys, and it's always entertaining, even when it's negative, especially when it's negative against Donnie. If you can do negative against Donnie's, like wishy-washy on everything, call him out on it. So I'm the one that's like taking bullets here.
Well, is it because you and your Danny Stevens plot that you are convinced still exists? I love that you just continue to double and triple. And
I love that you peddle this conspiracy theory that he is dead. That is so ridiculous. The show has clearly shown us that Danny Stevens is alive, and we find more about that in this episode. Thank you. But go on.
Can't wait to see how you're going to shoehorn that in there, buddy. Well, let's dive into it here. Okay. Here at the top, we open in MOCC, which we are now establishing is called MOCC, as the governor is being held at gunpoint and telling the Phoenix station that the transports are being held. By the way, can we just talk about like this set? This is a really well-built, really nice, really huge set. Is this what used to be Mission Control in Houston? Is that like the space and whatever soundstage has now been converted into this?
I think you're right. You mentioned that last episode. I think you were probably correct on that.
Yeah.
Even though we're missing some of the sections, obviously, but that would have been the front section.
Yeah, I'm just like they used that space. They repurposed it. Like I don't think that the NASA Mission Control set, I don't think is built. I don't think it exists at this point. It's in parts and crates maybe, but like I think MOCC has taken over that soundstage. I'm
a little confused about where it is on the compound. Not that I think we should understand that, but Ed, who was a basically prisoner, just walked up to it and put his leg in and then walked to the coffee shop.
Yeah.
But it seems like from the last episode that like there must have been some security between that area and this area. I don't really know, but it seems very unsecured.
Yeah, there's only so many ingresses and egresses, but at the same point, this should be a secure facility, and it does feel like that there should be a little better metal detectors, or not metal detectors, but if you go to a data center, so living in the IT world, they actually have, it's almost like an airlock where like it's double secure doors, and like you have to go through the first door before they unlock the second door for you to actually go into like where the servers and stuff are. Like this should be that level of secure.
And we essentially find out this episode, we'll get to it, but if this area is not manned, the entire base goes down. So that reasons that somebody could bring the base down by getting in there and doing something malicious. So yeah, it seems very unsecure.
Yeah. I also put in my notes here just during this opening scene that Gerard, we establish, is in charge, and it's obvious to me that he has no plan.
Yeah.
If Dev in season 4, here it is, Brian, this is one of the big criticisms. Like if he was playing 4D chess like last season, like the master plan that he had, like Gerard is barely playing tic-tac-toe here. He's brute forced his way in and he doesn't know what to do next. And dude, this reminds me of Battlestar Galactica, which, by the way, is 20 years old at this point. And any spoilers that I'm about to give about a show that's 20 years old, I'm sorry, just deal with it. But this reminded me of, oh, please go watch it. But this reminds me of when Bill Adama gets shot and Saul Tigh is in charge, and it's just an absolute disaster. Like Gerard should not be in charge. If nothing else, that's what they're trying to establish to us here at the beginning.
But Saul Tigh being a disaster is Adama's fault, but that's another thing. That's a different situation, but I do understand your analogy. Brian,
maybe future BSG rewatch at some point, because it would be fun to go back. That's a huge undertaking, but you're not wrong. Like he was the number 2 and he was an absolute disaster. You're literally, as the number 2, you're one bullet away from being in charge, which literally 100%. Happens. And it was an absolute poop show.
Adam was so good, but obviously he did not either choose or train the way he should have. But
yeah, that's all. This is my recurring theme throughout this episode with Gerard. Does not need to be in charge.
No.
All right, so credits roll, and we come out of credits to a really wide shot of a tiny Sojourner on the screen, like moving slowly across space, which felt weird. Like they didn't want to spend a lot of money on the exteriors of Sojourner, so we're going to make it like just a few pixels on the screen is how it felt to me, but whatever. And they're trying to get in contact with Happy Valley. They're not getting it, and they get a call from the Kurgan mission, Cosmos 1. So apparently these two ships at this point are close enough to each other that they're talking to each other in real time. Yeah. So that to me is just an interesting nugget because Cosmos left Earth heading for Titan. Sojourner left Mars heading for Titan. And depending on where those two places are in orbital positions relative to one another, I would think the Earth crew would have a longer trip or a shorter trip. So...
But also, we do see that Sojourner is talking to Mars in real time as well, still at this point, even though 1 episode ago, it was like, I want to talk to you now while we still can.
Yeah, which this is literally the next day of protest happened.
Okay, that's true. That's true.
This episode happens within a span of like less than 24 hours, which is pretty tight storytelling for All Mankind. I'll go ahead and credit that there. But yeah, Cosmos 1 basically tells them everything they know, which is not much. Happy Valley's been commandeered, and we don't know how we're doing.
Did you clock that they said Houston told them?
That comes up later.
That is later. Okay, I didn't have it on my notes. It is in my notes later. Never mind. You're right.
Yeah. So it was later. So Kurgan would have got information from the Soviet Union, but yeah, they said Houston, but they're not. Houston could mean two things here. By the way, we can go ahead and jump to that. It's fine because it was just a throwaway line, but. It could be NASA, but Helios's headquarters is also in Houston, and they have their own mission control. Okay. So was it the Molly Cobb Space Center? Was it Helios? I don't think it really matters, but my brain was thinking it was from Helios's mission control.
Okay.
Yeah. Meanwhile, at Helios, the security lead is telling Aleda and Dev that the MOCC is now being taken over, and Dev's immediate worry here, I put in my notes, is about Alex. Like, where's Alex?
Yeah. Yeah.
Which seems to be a recurring theme for Dev throughout this episode until the last 30 seconds.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's funny. You are correct on that, but we'll get to
is. And there's two different ways we can go with that. But like, to me, it was, they are telegraphing where Dev is going to end up in this episode. It's not Dev has this master plan and he's got to protect Alex, which might be true because maybe this isn't the time to get into conspiracy stuff, but there is a part of me that does think that Dev is still the puppeteer.
Alex's dad? Oh.
No, he's definitely not Alex's dad. But I do think he sees him as a father figure, and I think we can take that at face value. And I think he really legitimately cares about Alex and his well-being and his future. But how much of all of the events that are transpiring here is Dev manipulating as the puppeteer behind the scenes? Did he guide Alex towards the one file that was written in Cyrillic that is going to have all of the spill in the beans and get the information out there so that he could drive the outcome that he wants? Just put that in the back of your head.
You texted that to me, and I think that the reaction is too authentic when Dev sees the news break out for it to be part of his master plan.
Or it could be, my plan is coming together.
That wasn't the look, though. The look was disappointment or anger, not satisfaction. So I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, it's not clear cut, but you have Danny Stevens' theory. I have Dev is playing now 5D chess, and he's got some master plan that is going to play out here.
Okay.
All right. Meanwhile, at the med bay, Dima has his hands full. Alex here's banged up. Lily has a concussion and is unconscious. And I wrote it again. Dima has his hands full.
Yeah. And he also has the worst makeup of anybody in the show. Honestly, the writers like hate this man. They hate him. And they're like, and he hates his job too. And they're like, and we're going to give you a comb over. And he's like,
And I was thinking about this too as I was watching. Like every scene of Dima is on that set, is in the med bay. Does he just permanently live there? But not entirely true. He does end up in Ed's quarters for one scene, but I feel like Dev is living in his own personal purgatory of I'm stuck on Mars and I live in a med bay. I feel bad for the guy.
No, somebody hates him.
Indeed. We also get Miles and his wife are there with Lily. Gerard here gets on like the overhead speakers and declares that they've stopped shipments and blah, blah, blah. We've taken over the MOCC. And Miles's wife here is the one that's, hey, you need to get up there and intervene. So I like this. I do like this
it too.
Really good stuff. So as Miles here is making his way up to the MOCC, he's stopped by some Beckers that are going to try to lock him up. And Boyd, good old Columboid, as Jade would say, shows up just in time.
Here's where this stuff annoys me. By the end of the episode, I actually like some of what they're doing here. Mm-hmm. But just, again, I'm not a all cops are good guy. I'm not that guy. They're bad cops, 100%. I live across the street from a cop. He's awesome. I have friends that are cops. I have family members that are in the military. So I have some sympathy, but it was so cartoonish for this cop to stop him and then start beating him. It was like, okay, right. Like you're just evil. Okay. But again, I like where we end up. That part I was just like, okay, really? He's just going to start beating him. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, this is why I'm scoring this episode a 5. They telegraph some of the moves here. And they're really wanting us just to understand that there are good cops, they're bad cops. The lines are not clearly drawn, and you can't assume anytime you see somebody in uniform which side they're on. I did think it was funny how Boyd gets out of the scene with just hitting him in the stomach. He's like, "What? Did you have to hit me in the stomach?"
Yeah,
so I could have gone for your face. So it was pretty good.
And I just love that she walks up and she's like, "Hey, I got to take this prisoner." And they're like, "Why?" She says, "Orders."
Yeah,
because orders said.
Yeah,
like. She clarifies a little more, but she just blurts out orders. Because
yeah, exactly. And they're like, "Oh, okay,
orders, okay."
Half Miles. So yeah, they walk off around the corner. She takes the cuffs off of him, and Miles here, he invites Boyd to join him at the MOCC. The quote I have here is, "A level-headed person or two could help," and Boyd agrees, which predictable at this point. But they've been setting up Boyd as to being the even-keeled person that is in the quest of truth, and the truth is guiding her towards there's got to be a better way, and Sheriff Palmer's not the answer.
Yeah,
good stuff,
because he's a cartoon villain, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, he is.
We'll get to that next episode.
Indeed. Stay tuned. Meanwhile, at the MOCC, Gerard continues to have no plan.
Yep.
And basically he looks relieved when Miles arrives.
Yeah.
By the way, Gerard here gets the potty mouth award this episode because that's all he has. That's the only thing in his arsenal is I'm going to throw out more F-bombs than Aleda. That's all that he's got. And he's the muscle. He has the muscle, but there's not the critical thinking and strategy around what do we do next once we muscle our way in. And thank goodness Miles is here.
That's the thing. There's literally no plan. There's literally no plan.
None.
Like, we want to stop automation. Okay, how? I don't know. By taking over MOCC, right?
Yeah. Boom. We got him.
Yeah, boom.
Yeah, this is my criticism of this episode. Here we go. My notes I have here. Miles tries to lower the temp, and the governor won't shut up.
Yeah.
Taser time. And I put here, I'm not mad, and Irina's expressions are priceless.
Dude, Irina in all these scenes, is just calmly enjoying it.
Bro, big time.
She loves it.
It's clear to me that she thinks the governor is an imbecile, which the governor is an imbecile.
He is.
And he's getting what's coming to him. And she's got a play here. She is definitely, to borrow from My Big Fat Greek Wedding, where they talk about the husband was the head, but then the wife is the neck, and the neck moves the head wherever she wants. Like, Irina is the neck, and she is going to try to manipulate the situation for her own purposes. 40 chess, maybe Dev, definitely Irina.
Oh, Irina's, she's got moves.
Awesome. All right. Meanwhile, somewhere, Avery and Marines are training in suits. And I put in my notes here in all caps, Big Neck is here. Not to be confused with Big Fat Greek Wedding Neck, but Big Neck. He has a name, but I love that in email now people are emailing us and they're just calling him Big Neck. I'm really proud of this moment.
Okay, so tell me this, Donnie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this was a Afghanistan style training.
Yeah.
For these Moon Marines. Why do they need that for the moon?
That's a fantastic question.
We haven't heard anything about conflict on the moon, right?
No, we haven't. So to me, it's more of like the training part's important, but to me, it was we're doing this training in suits and just the level of intensity that is. But yeah, how much are they going to need to actually put this into practice? But you've got to be prepared for everything. That's welcome to the United States Department of Defense. You have to be prepared for every situation.
To be fair, that's true. I was just like, what practical application does this have? Are we regularly like shooting people on the moon? But the other thing is, as this opens, it's a train simulator. Like nobody was like, oh my gosh, that was training. But you watch the people get shot. And they're like overacting. They look like they get pummeled. It's great.
Yeah, they're definitely all in on it.
This is my moment.
Yeah. We get a fun little tidbit here when the simulation's complete, which apparently this was like their first run through in suits. And the training guys, hey, that was pretty great. Nice work. Big Neck calls out that one other dude didn't have his suit sealed, and then they all have to run as a result. So poor Big Neck is definitely taking the fall for that. Avery even gets in on slapping him on the head. So my one question about this is Big Neck just joined the Marines, and it feels to me like they're fast tracking him to be part of this elite group, which maybe that makes a lot of sense because he has the Mars experience and he's got the resume that makes sense to go ahead and plug him in. It just feels like they're doing that really quickly with Big Neck. Yes, it is way too quick because it's only been 3 months. Maybe. Yeah. Something like that. Yeah. He would have left sometime in the summer. Yeah. No, I don't think you're supposed to think about that. But I do. Again, Avery, I really like her. They've done a good job with, she has maybe 15 minutes of on-screen time at this point. Sure. But even her walking up and seeming sympathetic and then smacking him on the back of the head, I'm like, okay, yeah. I like her. Yeah, it was a fun moment for sure. Yeah. Meanwhile, at Helios, Dev wants to find Alex, and Aleda wants to get to MOCC and contact Sojourner. And basically, they tell Vogel, the chief of security, go figure it out. Yeah, make it happen. She's like, I need an hour. They're like, you have 10 minutes. Go. You probably don't, but did you recognize Vogel? Okay, I'm glad you said that because she felt really familiar to me, and I did go and IMDb her, and she was on 10 episodes of 24, and she was, yeah. That I think that's what I remembered her face from, but I still can't point out. It was one of the later seasons, and I don't remember all the specifics of why she was involved with 24. So I don't remember her on 24, but she was also in a little cult show called Jericho that's really good. Yes, that was the other one. Yeah, and then what I really remember her from is Sons of Anarchy. She was Opie, who's the kind of sidekick character. Sidekick makes it sound weak. No, he's a Son of Anarchy. Sheriff Taylor's son. No. Oh. On Sons of Anarchy? Yeah, Opie. He's the little boy. You have the sheriff, Andy, and then his son, Opie, who later becomes a film director. Okay. Anyway, no, Opie is this mountain of a man, and she's Howard is not a mountain of a man. I know. She is the housewife that's stereotypically angry housewife that you would do 15 years ago. But she's pretty weak in it. And this she's a boss, man. Head of security. Yeah. She can talk her way out of a situation, which we're about to find out about. So meanwhile, at MOCC during all this, Gerard gets an update that the sheriff is on the move. They figure out that he's been going to all the weapons caches and he's stockpiling the weapons. And I like that Boyd she's riding the fence here of, I'm not all in with what you're doing, but let me help you glean the information that you need. Yeah. To me, how do you feel about this? To me, Boyd is she's more anti-Palmer than she is pro Gerard and Miles at this point.
No, they did a really good job with her, because I think it's later, but maybe it's here where he's like, get us the guns. And she's like, no, I don't trust you. Mm-hmm. I don't trust them either.
Right.
And what's interesting, I'll push in on this a little here as this unfolds. I really like it because, like, you hear the idea of a civil war, and there's like the joke about the militias that, like, okay, you're going to fend off an F-16. Right. Good luck. But that's not how a civil war would work. And they play it this way through this episode of, like, my wife lives here.
Right.
My wife is on Sojourner. My daughter is in daycare. So the soldiers aren't going to be like, okay, we're on this side. It's going to be split, and they've got their own agency.
Yes.
And so I like how the division is happening, where you later on you got the three officers that are hiding, and they're like, this is nuts. What is going on?
Yeah.
So I think they play that really this episode.
Yeah, I do too. And this is where you can have people with different motivations that are trying to find a shared outcome. And I think they do a really good job with just that nuance throughout this entire thing. That's
what I'm saying. Like, the character development and the character display through this episode was really good. There's a couple of moments we'll get to where I'm just like eye rolling, but overall, like, I watch this and I'm like, I like these people. I like Boyd. I like Miles. I like Lily. Like, all of them.
Yeah. No, I get it. Miles and Boyd, they're in the middle of all of this, and they're trying to keep the peace. I did put in my notes here. It's the bright spot of the episode for me. Like, they go into the side room and they're having their own little staff meeting, just the two of them. But I do appreciate that they're the wedge in the middle that is connective tissue, but also clearly clearly contrasting between the sheriff and Gerard. They're the medium, and there's some medium here that needs to be in a leadership role. So meanwhile, at the med bay, Lily's waking up, and mom and daughter have a CW conversation about Alex.
Yes. This is where I was just like, this is so stupid. CW conversation. That is so good. That is so good.
I just came up with that. I didn't even have it in my notes. I'm really proud of it myself.
No, that is good, because it is. It's, do you think he likes you? Do you like him? Do you like each other? Do you guys want to kiss? Like, it's so dumb.
And Brian, this is my problem. This is why this is a 5 for me. This episode, this stuff right here. I do not sign up for All Mankind this fall in the CW. And this is what this is. And
it's like the writers were like, they're all in. They're like, they got their storyboard, and then they're like, oh, we got to get Miles and Lily together. And they're just like some intern. They're like, yeah, you just write that scene while we work on the rest of this.
As the kids would say, the ship is coming. And I hate that I just said that, but I did write that in my notes. Because I always want to ship everything.
Yeah, you're so cool.
For all of us geriatric millennials and older, and thank you for the people who now I'm like, hey, I'm Boomer here or Gen Xer here. If it's a relationship, they're trying to ship them. This is what the kids say, and I hate it so much.
You make it really uncool when you explain it like that. But
you're welcome. This is my goal. Like, for some reason, the numbers 6 and 7 were a thing last year, and I started using it like ad nauseum just to try to make it go away. And I feel like I played my part in making 6, 7 die. So you're welcome. You
single-handedly did it. Good job.
The things we do for the betterment of For All Mankind.
For All Mankind, yeah.
Yep. Meanwhile, Boyd is going to the weapon stockpiles, and so far she's striking out because the sheriff feels like one step ahead here. She heads into Pecker Central, and this is where you mentioned earlier we find the 3 good ones that are holed up in his office. I put here my notes, more forces for the good guys.
Yeah. And here's where we see, really for the first time, I feel like Happy Valley's cooked. Like, it is ransacked. There's been like everything is destroyed. Like, this is not a riot that happened in the snack area that moved to MOCC.
It didn't break the glass on one vending machine. And
yes.
Yeah.
But again, like We should have seen that. We should have seen that.
Well,
we're seeing the aftermath, but
yeah, limited budget. But your point is well taken.
They had to destroy that area. They could have had paid 10 extras to go through and
There are 5,000 Happy Valley for All Mankind listeners that would have gladly been an extra.
100%. I would have done it for you guys.
And for free. Like,
yeah,
I'm sure unions and whatnot would not have that.
As long as you don't have dialogue, they don't have to pay you. So,
there you go. Sounds great. I wouldn't mind being on set for a day to be an extra and just doing the same motion over and over again like a sim.
Yeah.
Be great. Meanwhile, Dev and Elena are on the move. They get stopped by a pecker and it's heated. And I just put in my notes here. The chief of security talks her down. She's a smooth operator. So Opie's wife to the rescue.
No, that was a good scene. And like again, realistic of this lone officer that's never really had conflict like this, probably.
Right. Totally
spooked. And you got an Amazon delivery. I'm
unplugging my Echo now. So sorry. That was awkward.
But it was it was really good interaction. Enjoyed that.
Yep, totally. I also put my notes here. This is where Dev and Elena split up. Dev is really, again, doubling down on his primary concern here and primary objective is to get to Alex. He says, I'm going to the med bay. You take the security detail. You keep heading to MOCC, establish contact with Sojourner, and so on and so forth. Yeah. Any other thoughts on that scene?
No, it was good.
Yeah. So we go straight from this to the news coverage. Again, every episode this season has had news coverage, and it's so well done. Like, I really do appreciate that. So how did you feel about the telegraphed 9/11 Bush
9/11 moment? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I loved it. And you have mentioned several times about the 9/11 moment not happening in this universe.
Right.
And this is not it, obviously. I don't think it's not. So that we got it. It's great. I loved it.
Yeah. See, I thought it was cute. It's fine. Yeah. They've done this throughout the entire show where some things are just destined to happen. And him being in a classroom and getting really bad news, I get it. I don't love them using 9/11 for this, but it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, there has not been, people were then arguing on Discord. So is the Mars Rebellion, is that 9/11?
No.
And I'm like, no, not even close. No. Like they're not even in the same paragraph, not even the same book. We go from all of that news coverage now to Big Neck and Avery watching it at the bar. And obviously they're still on Earth at this point. Big Neck hasn't heard from his parents. So they having a conversation here. I feel like I need to probably know this guy's name because he actually, to me, seems like a good dude, Brian.
He does seem like a good dude. And he's going to be important.
He absolutely is going to be important. I did love his quote here. Yes, indeed. I wrote this down. It says, it's nice that you can just go outside here without dying.
Yeah.
Talking about Earth compared to just the hostile environment of living on Mars. It was great. We learn here that Avery wants to be posted to the moon. I think we've already realized that, not Mars. And this is where she decides, Brian, to confide in Big Neck about her real identity.
Okay. Let me ask you a question.
Best scene of the episode, by the way.
It is great. Let me ask you, Donnie.
Okay. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go, people.
Why does she not want to go to Mars? That's weird, right?
She is terrified that she is going
to meeting her father. Of meeting her father on Mars.
Like her dad. Her dead dad.
Is on Mars.
Who they ate.
She doesn't want to meet
seasons 3 and seasons 4.
Huh. That's weird. So they didn't say it. They didn't say he was dead. They didn't say he's alive. They're leaving it ambiguous on purpose. Okay. She wants to go to the moon.
Okay.
So she doesn't have to confront her father.
They do a good job in this. Yeah, I'm not even going to dignify that with a response. They do a good job in this episode of contrasting her grandparents and her parent. And she wants to be more like her grandparents and not so much like her father.
That was beautiful.
Yeah. So we get the by name call out of Gordo and Tracy Stevens, Uncle Jimmy, which is somewhere. If they want to bring back, I don't think they're going to bring back Uncle Jimmy, but they could bring back Uncle Jimmy. I think he had a 10-year prison sentence or something which he would have gotten in like 95. So he would be out. He'd be free at this point.
Yeah.
So I don't know if the ER doc from the pit is out of prison yet. So do you understand that reference?
Yes.
Have you watched the pit?
No, I haven't. I've tried to watch it twice.
Okay. The girl Sunny that was in season 3, who is like Bryan Cranston's daughter in real life, she is like one of the main characters on the pit. But she was like in season 3 of For All Mankind. She was the girl that kind of lured Jimmy into the terrorist.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Little hippie girl.
The little hippie girl. She's not a hippie at all on the pit. She's great. It's hilarious. I just note on this scene, the whole family gets mentioned, and then basically like you have a 50-50 shot at being great or being crazy like your dad. So I appreciated the dark humor there. It's great. Just put here again, the side note, the news stuff is really great. I think they absolutely stick the landing every time they have one of these news clips. Meanwhile, back at the MOCC, Aleda arrives and implores them to let her in to contact Sojourner. We do get confirmation here that this is an 18-month journey. It's the first time they've mentioned that, which kind of bothered me in retrospect, because didn't Aleda say she's going to be there like 6 months until they get to Titan? Like,
yeah, 100%.
Okay, that is bugging me. That's minor nitpick, but a nitpick nonetheless. And Aleda here, she commits to going in knowing the risks. Security detail, they're not going to let her in, but I got to say, Brian, this is Aleda being a boss. And doesn't. Well, and
you see the fracture within the group that's holding the hostages, where the woman holding the guns, you can't come in, and she's, if you go in, they won't let you out. Like she's not on board, 100%.
And I think to your point, the complexities here of my spouse is on Sojourner, my kid is at the daycare. And like, we are all in this village together. And if something goes wrong with this village, we're all dead. And you really are going to see that play out over these next few minutes as Aleda just takes charge. I did put in my notes here. Irina is just Aleda. I said it weird, didn't I?
You did.
That's weird Southern accent. Sometimes I say words weird, and I'm sorry. This is like the most talking I do is this podcast. I don't know how to speak English. I did put in my notes here. Irina is just chilling, like in this entire scene. She's just sitting there, and just like her facial expressions, dude. We're going to see more Irina in Star City stuff, like the backstory. But I love that she is back in the story. So well done.
No, she has so little dialogue, but she runs these scenes, man. Just the looks it's so good.
100%. And Aleda, see, I did it again. Dang it.
You did it again.
Aleda speaks truth bombs about the unmanned stations, putting the base at risk. And Aleda just starts telling them what she needs. And Miles is completely on board. Like, uncuff that person. Yeah. We need to get them in here. Oh, the fusion reactor has been left unkept for several hours. Let's just keep doing that. That's a great plan. And I really do appreciate, this is where, to me, the pendulum swings from Gerard being in charge to Miles being the one in charge.
And there's like this pretense of Gerard still being in charge, which is just funny. Like Gerard is just okay. It's like, no, you're in charge, buddy. You're in charge, buddy. But let's uncuff them. Let's do this. Let's get you here.
You're the boss.
We'll find out
what needs to happen right now.
And he kind of lets it happen because I think he realizes, I have no idea what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And we also find out that this does control the base. It being unmanned, they know it can last for a while. They say a couple months or something like that.
Backup automations, blah, blah, blah. But it's temporary. Yeah.
But like, this is the heart of the base. And I don't know, maybe you already knew that, but for me, it was a revelation of, I thought they were just doing like missions out of here.
Right.
But this is like control center for Happy Valley.
This is the bridge of the Starship Enterprise.
Yes.
Yeah. Big time. My quote here from Miles, I liked. He says, if we keep treating them like this, then we're no better than the people we're fighting. So go start uncuffing them. All right. Time will tell if this is the right move or not the right move. Meanwhile, we go from this to the scene of Dev getting closer to the med bay until he runs into 4 dudes, and things don't end very well for Dev here. Dev does throw the first punch. He's definitely defensive posture, but he throws that first punch, and he lays a couple of big hits before it's 4-on-1. It's not going to end well for Dev.
No. Yeah. No, and it's not like he didn't start it, but he started the physical part of it.
Sure.
And at that point, he just realized, okay, here we go.
Yeah. So take the fetal position and you take the hits. So we cut from that.
But I love that they zoom in on his face while they're just kicking him.
Right.
And you just see what leads to his next scene where he just realizes it's out of control.
Yeah, things are out of control at this point. That's fair. That's a good counter to my Dev's playing a long game here. He does not have control at this point. Maybe he had the illusion of control, but at this point, he really gets the assurance.
Until that moment, he thought he was in control, and he thought he could walk through there and nobody would say anything.
Man.
But, yeah.
Great call out, Brian. During this, we also cut back to Aleda, who is now making a phone call. She's making a video call to Kelly and Walt, not DeWalt, up on Sojourner. And Aleda really updates the crew. And apparently one lady's husband, who is a pecker, is unconscious. I feel like they throw in these tidbits for some important reason. So pay attention to that dynamic moving forward.
And this is where they mention Houston.
Yes, this was the Houston mention here as well. Yeah, so I think he had no sufficient control, but whatever.
Yeah, I think you might be right, but why didn't they say Helios? But again, it doesn't matter. You're right.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Meanwhile, Boyd finds a fully stocked cache of weapons, and Beardy Fred shows up. And we have just one of these interactions between the Peckers. They're not all good. They're not all bad, but the lines are starting to be drawn here. And Beardy Fred just has the watch yourself, like very cartoonish warning.
Yeah, but again, we see here, yes, he's the guy that basically killed Yoon.
Yeah. I think his name was Yu.
But he's not a bad guy. He wasn't like, I'm going to kill you.
He's not Michael.
Yeah. Anyway.
His loyalty is to Palmer, and Palmer, not a good dude. Meanwhile, in MOCC, Irina starts making her move to charm Miles.
Yeah.
Asking for bathroom privileges, and Irina's playing the long game here. Absolute pro. She talked her way out of prison. She's going to talk her way out of this situation, and I feel like this is going to come back to bite them.
I love I have to go to the bathroom is one of the most vulnerable things you can say to somebody.
Sure.
Not the most, one of the. And it's like she comes to a place of vulnerability to him and then starts to work him.
It reminds me of Die Hard. This is like Bonnie Bedila's character. This is how she got through to Hans Gruber, was the bathroom thing. And it always reminds me of Die Hard. Everything is Die Hard. By the way, Christmas movie. It's also in the comments if you disagree, but whatever. Yeah, Irina's got a game, and she's playing it, and the charm is like full on with Miles. And Miles is eating it, as he should. I mean, it's understandable. I get it. And this is where I put my notes. Gerard wins new potty mouth. Miles points out that the iridium is the leverage and no more shipments. There's the answer. There's the play. And very subtle here, but was Irina the one that planted that seed in Miles's head about the iridium?
So I agree with that. I feel like she got him thinking, you have no hand here. You have no play. What's your play? I do agree with that.
Yeah, which is interesting.
And again, it's the brilliance of her to look at Gerard and know this guy, he's an empty suit. He's not the leader here.
Yeah.
To then go to Miles, who she knows she can manipulate a little. I also wonder what this says for the future of these two characters. I feel like there's something being set up here with Miles being governor eventually, maybe her being president of Russia eventually.
Maybe.
Like there's some, I don't know the word, but I don't know, there's something going on there.
I totally agree. And I'm not convinced that Irina is just being a good company guy here. Like, no, I don't think she cares about Kurgan. She has a job and it's a means to an end, and the end is power. And how do I consolidate my own power here? And dude, I'm standing by my Miles is going to be governor of Mars, but now it's going to be president, because that segues into now their next demands of having their own representation, having their own seat at the M6 table, and being able to veto anything that would impact the people of Mars. So he's going for president, man. Miles for president is happening, dude. It's going to happen.
President of Mars or U.S.?
President of Mars.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know where Irina fits, but I like your theory there that maybe she gets involved with the Soviet Union leadership side. So that could be a thing. Absolutely could be a thing. So the governor is going to read the statement that they're going to send back to Earth. They're debating about who hits the send button, that kind of thing. And eventually they do. We go from that scene back to Town Square where Mrs. Lee, because I don't know her name, which I'm really sorry about Mrs. Lee, she's cleaning up the remains of the Ed Shrine and all the other stuff and the broken mug of Lee. And then all of a sudden, like, transporters now exist in this universe, like Star Trek transporters. Lee appears in the middle of the town square. And this was, of all of the CW things they could have done in this episode, Lee magically appearing in the middle of town square was so CW, man. Come on.
Yeah. Again, it does speak to the chaos that Happy Valley is in at this point, that he could just come in, get in. Yeah. But there's a lot of hand waving of like, how did he get in?
Yes.
Like,
these are not the droids you're looking for.
How did he get in? How did he get to where he needed to be? Yep. There's peacekeepers everywhere, randomly stopping people. So yeah, it was a fan service moment.
Yep.
But
my notes here,
I didn't hate it as much as you.
I did put in my notes, just to be fair. I said Lee arrives magically, but I don't really care how Lee is back.
Yeah.
He wants to take her to the ISN base, and awesome quote here. She says, "The people who helped you before, they need your help now." So yeah. it was a really nice moment. So I'm glad that Lee's back in the mix.
North Korea is always saving the day.
And here's the thing, like, culturally in this Martian society, like there are certain people that are, for lack of a better term, founders of this society. I feel like they hold Lee in that esteem, in that regard. Ed would obviously be another one. Lee is one of those people. So I love having him back in the mix here. Even if it was weird and it was quick, I like that he's back in the mix.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, in the med bay, Alex starts waking up, and we're back on the CW again because it's kissy time between the future of this show, Alex and Lily.
I'll take this kiss over the governor and the governor's wife kiss any day.
1,000%. Yes.
I didn't feel like they had to like mop up each other's faces afterwards. So,
and that's one of those, that dynamic, like in retrospect, I think that was it. That's all we got of that dynamic. But why did they throw it in there in the first place? Like for us to be annoyed about the governor so that when he gets tased, we're like, oh, good. That guy's so annoying. Like maybe that's all that existed for, but is it telegraphed? Probably. But we knew Alex and Lily they're destined for each other. Like they are.
It should have been done a lot more subtly. It's fine.
It's teen love. And we're this fall on the CW for all mankind, Alex and Lily. That's what it is.
Alex and Lily story.
Yeah. Meanwhile, at the MOCC, we get to the last scene here. Governor is sleeping on his arm, is what I put in my notes here. That's got to be the most uncomfortable way to be sleeping. Yeah. They're getting a message from the MOCC, and it's President Bragg. We will not negotiate with terrorists. Not now, not ever. Man, that felt like a Laura Roslin. Not now, not ever. I will fight you.
I really liked it. It was a blow to what they're trying to accomplish.
Yeah.
And it really gets back to who needs who more. And that shouldn't be the only stake in this, but it is.
Yeah.
So
the M6 is holding all the chips here. They really are.
Like in 2026, we don't have a giant asteroid full of iridium that we're mining.
Right.
And we're doing okay. Like, so are we doing what? Anyway, we can get into that, but we're not, like, they're in a worse, this world or this universe's Earth is in a worse spot than we are. And we don't have a giant asteroid. So it begs the question of, okay, you take it. Okay, we're done. What leverage do they have?
Yeah. Now what? So it's going to be interesting to see where that goes. We do get the one final scene here. We just see the back of Dev walking into the Helios offices. The look of shock from the security chief and from others, get a first aid kit. And we get the turn as his face is really bloodied, and just the orders: lock the doors.
Yeah.
End credits.
And I love this. And it, again, you can have the 5D chess theory, which I don't know where you come up with these stupid theories you come up with, but but to me, this says Dev walked out idealistic. I'm going to go save Alex, and then we're going to build Maru, and it's going to be great. Right. He walks back in. Mm-hmm. They're turtling. Like,
yeah,
they probably have everything they need there.
Sure.
And he knows it's chaos on the outside. They're going to come for him at some point. Mm-hmm. So he is turtling, and he's saying, all right, y'all are in your own.
Yeah. Burn yourselves out.
Yeah.
Because I'm just going to hole up and just ride this thing out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is an interesting
spot. Live in my mountain.
Yeah. Live in my mountain. Really nice mountain, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the CW stuff, man. That's really my big thing about this being a 5. So I respect that you could look past that and still score this a bit higher.
Yeah. Again, I agree that brings it down. And again, it feels like a different writing team. Literally, like, it was, to your point, this did not fit in this show.
Right.
You could have done better here, but they're like, okay, we got to get them together. We're on episode 6. Just do it. Just get them together.
Yeah. I mean, we've talked about it before, but like compare and contrast this to like early Wayne Cobb and like Karen, like the conversations that they would have. Like, we're so far away from that kind of dialogue. It's a bit frustrating. That's all. Yeah. I love the show. It's great. It's not the same show that like seasons 1 and 2 were. It's a different show in the same universe, and that's fine.
I think you're right. Season 4 really was such a departure that I feel like this season has brought a lot of that back. Yeah. But to your point,
5 is definitely better. 5 is definitely better than 4. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. I'm loving the journey. It's a different program. And some of that is me having to reset my own perspective of how I come to watch it. So
that's fair.
Good stuff.
It's good stuff.
A lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Even an episode that I didn't really care for, and I've got a lot of notes for, we can still talk for an hour.
I just realized that I think once we get through the recap, I think both of us sigh every time. It's like we're like holding our breath a little, and then we're like
formalize.
All right.
Roll credits.
The sigh. There we go. I like it.
Excellent.
Yeah, but no, overall, I really did enjoy this. I know I enjoyed it more than you, but the one thing I'm a little, we said this from the beginning of, I don't want a season of Mars Revolts.
Sure.
But that's what we got at this point. We got 4 more episodes. We have too much to wrap up. Too much new things have opened up.
Right.
But again, I've heard it said before, it's like, you may want something to happen, but it doesn't matter what happens as long as they do it well. Mm-hmm. And I feel like they're doing it well. So I'm fine.
Yeah. Give me some more of the Titan mission.
Yeah.
I want that stuff.
We're not going to get it, man. We're not going to get it. We're going to get, I think the YouTube commenter was correct of that's going to be the season 9. We find life and then everybody's comes together.
Maybe. It's
something like that.
Possible.
Yeah.
I did, Brian, dissect and I sent these to you, the trailer, and I just got 13 screenshots of things that we have not seen in the show yet. Is it okay if we talk about that for just a couple minutes?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So the USS Bradford, obviously we have not seen that ship yet. That's the first clip that's in there. The second one actually showing the Goldilocks asteroid, very similar to that final shot from the season 4 finale, except there's a ship that is also really near the Goldilocks asteroid, which we did not see. There's also just a quick shot of the Marines, which I'm assuming is going to include Big Neck and Avery. There is a shot of Dev holed up at the Helios headquarters with his security chief, the Opie wife, and then also Palmer is there with him. So Palmer's going to find his way into the hold up there. There is a shot of a hopper that looks like it's firing like all of its thrusters to get out of the Martian atmosphere. And then the wide shot where it says this March, it looks like there's some sort of massive dust storm happening on Mars that this hopper is escaping from. So there's some plot coming with that. We get a couple of shots of Avery here, one like inside the ship as people are walking out, and then a wider shot from outside the window of the Bradford. It looks like it has some sort of centrifugal gravity. We also, this is just important, I think, and if it's spoiler, but it's in the trailer. Aleda at MOCC, and she's like pumping her fist, and everybody in the background's excited, which includes Alex and Lily and Miles and his wife. They're really excited and celebrating something. We get a couple of another shot of, it looks like the Marines kind of walking through a scene in their suits. And then what I think is the most terrifying 24 frames of any For All Mankind trailer, that I'm calling it the decompression scene, but there's just this 1 second. And yes, Brian, I did go frame by frame through that. And it's 1 second, it's 24 frames. But what it looks like is this green crops like blowing through the wind. And I think it is one of those crop domes at Happy Valley. It has explosive decompression has happened to it. And we get a face, the side profile of a woman like just suffering through this thing. And we talked about it, but there's a prominent nose and a prominent chin, and it is totally Golsora. It is I called her Ilyukna last week. It's the Russian girl. She's gonna have some sort of an awful demise here. I'm just pointing that out.
Yeah.
A couple other shots of just gunfire being fired, and then of course the explosion that's going to happen on Kuznetsov Station at some point, which we still haven't seen this season, by the way.
Yeah. We don't have any breadcrumbs to it, other than we know the unrest is there too.
Yeah. Maybe this is going to be the resistance forcing the hand of, you're not going to get any iridium out of it because we're blowing up the transport platforms for it, which is to me what that looks like. So we've got 4 episodes left to see how this stuff plays out. I do think that there's some gripping stuff that we're barely tasting at this point. So
yeah,
they're putting all the pieces together. And I did say this to Jade this week. There's all the ingredients are there for something good. It's in the pan. They're putting it in the oven. It's either going to come out really delicious or it's going to be burnt to a crisp. And I don't know which one yet, but I do have faith. They're going to land the airplane on this.
Kelly will land the airplane because she's the expert pilot.
Because obviously she is the greatest pilot in the history of
all time. Yeah, of all time.
That's what they want to make sure we know. Oh, man. We did get a few emails here.
All right.
Just acknowledging, we had an email from somebody who asked us if they could remain completely anonymous and not read it. So I just want to acknowledge, thank you for emailing us. Really appreciate it. You had some really kind words to say. And let's continue with the chatter there and keep the dialogue up.
Yeah.
We also got an email from Brad. Brad says, "Hey guys, great podcast this week. Thanks for the shout outs." You're welcome, Brad. You've now become a mainstay, kind of like Jade. He says, "This episode was a banger. It was an 8 or 9 out of 10 for me." Pick a number, Brad. It's not an 8 or a 9. It's one of them.
Yeah. It's got to be one.
Yep. It says, "Good tension back in space some. First mention of the Kronos mission, setting up this Free Mars story arc perfectly. Great episode. Lee is back." He does have some thoughts here. He says, "Do we see the time jump here in this next episode? It's going to be called the Sirens of Titan. Since Sojourner was close enough to be on live comms, do they time jump a year since the journey was 18 months? Maybe we can see how long Mars can survive on its own." Reasonable theory.
That is a good theory. That is interesting.
Yeah. He also, Brad acknowledges here that you guys called it. They are totally setting up Miles for the next governor of Mars. He stepped up in this episode and took charge and handled the business.
Yeah.
Love it. Avery and Big Neck are headed to Mars for sure. No doubt there. Totally agree. He asked the question here.
But I am disappointed they're not already headed to Mars. But that's a good call out of that. Maybe we have a time jump. Again, I've said this probably every episode. We're like, next episode will be the time jump. Yeah. But that might make sense. The next episode, or
it's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
When?
But I was disappointed they didn't already leave for Mars. So.
Yeah. And whenever time jump happens, Bragg, his second term will be up. So there's going to be a new president of the United States. I'm still banking on JFK Jr. is going to be Are they going to recast? How are they going to manage that? That's just a small, subtle piece of intrigue that I've continued to stay latched to for a long time. Make it happen, please. He also says here, he asks the question, when do we see Palmer again? He's definitely still going to pop up. I just mentioned there's the trailer scene. He also throws this out, a good thought. One question about this embargo, can people leave Mars? Do they need supplies to leave the Phoenix and go back to Earth? How does that work? Really seems like they feel everyone on Mars is staying there for now. Very curious to see where this next episode opens up at. So
you're a nerd. They're making their own fuel on Mars, correct?
They're making their own fuel. Yes, that is correct.
Okay.
And I hope this is, let me back up. I think the most reasonable way that they can handle transport is really playing out in the show. And like in our own timeline, this is going to make a lot of sense. Basically, you have ships that go from surface of planet to orbit, and then there's some sort of a transition that happens to another, for lack of a better term, a train. And that train's going to take you between the planets. You've got the hoppers that take you up to Phoenix Station, and then you've got like the Unity, which is the transport that then takes you to another station that's going to be in Earth orbit, or you're going to dock with something else that's going to then take you back to the Earth surface. But yeah, I mean, at this point, I don't think there's going to be any more ships coming from Earth. So that's going to be the intrigue.
Yeah, it's a one way, if anything.
So if you're on the Phoenix Station right now, you're stuck, which... Interesting point there. They've been intentional about making sure we know the governor's wife is on Phoenix, and also the CEO of Helios is on Phoenix. Oh, yeah. So how does all that play? No idea.
Helios can absolutely, I would think, send ships, right? Or
they could, but are they going to be in violation of the M6 charter? Is that where the Marines and the USS Bradford come into play? Yeah.
But you got 5,000 people. Let's say 1,000 of those are insurrection, whatever.
Yeah.
You still have children. So I don't think they're going to leave. They're going to let everybody, they're going to starve out the entire planet, but I don't know.
And the other piece of this, I guess the other wild card is a couple of things. One, how does Avery and Big Neck, I think they're going to be wild cards in the whole, they're showing up on Mars, but they're going to be wild cards. But also public sentiment. We saw with the torture stuff that happened at the end of season 4 that public sentiment was CIA bad, KGB bad, like torturing people. Like to your point, you've got kids in daycares, and now we're going to starve them out. So it's a hot take from Bragg and from the M6 leaders, but is the general population on Earth going to be okay with this? I don't think so. And I think they'll do some really cool news stories to make sure that is also highlighted.
Yeah.
We'll see. Brad says here he's ready for the Jade Shade score this week, which is the perfect transition to our email from Jade. And Jade says this. She says, you know how I hate being wrong about things. I said this week would be a banger, and I'm leaning towards more of a wet stinker. 5 out of 10. So right there with you, Jade. Totally understand. She says there's absolutely nothing more that I'd love to be able to absolutely love every episode. This is my favorite TV show. I'm just not getting on with this season at all, am I? This one felt so disjointed. Random bits everywhere. Let's taser the governor. By the way, he deserved that. Big lad slithering around the corridors and appearing out of nowhere. Dev getting beaten up. Columboid taking charge. Bragg reading My Pet Goat to a bunch of primary school children, which of course was a little reference for us geriatric millennials from some of the writers. Then Lee Jung-gil randomly appearing. It was all over the place. Some people might not like that. Some people might like that, but I just couldn't get into the flow of it. I'll give a rewatch through and maybe enjoy it a little bit more the second time around. She says this in closing. She says, hurry up with the aliens on Titan to save us from another 5 out of 10. So good.
That's funny. Thanks, Jade.
Yeah. Joe also emailed. He says, this is first time emailer. He says, I love the episode rating conversion each week. I'm thinking of doing some pinpoint rewatching of past episodes. Can you list your 10s? Top episodes, Brian.
Oh, not at the fly, but I would say season 3, last episode. Is that where they do the Mars? Yeah. The finale is excellent. Mm-hmm. I don't know the episode numbers. You probably do because you're a nerd.
Yes.
But the Space Marines, the moon.
2-8.
Yes. And then the handshake.
The handshake, 210. The greatest episode. Good. Greatest episode of the entire series. This season 2, episode 10.
The bombing.
Okay. That was in the finale of 3. So you're really highlighting a lot of things in finales, which is fair.
You go. That's what I got off the top of my head.
3 other ones that I would mention to go along with what you already said.
You nerd.
The season 2, episode 10 finale is the absolute banger. It is the I Ching. It is the ultimate for all mankind. But I would also highlight season 3, episode 5, the 7 Minutes of Terror, the landing on Mars. I thought that was absolute cinema.
That Loved it. Great.
The season 1, episode 10 finale, which was the tank toss from Ed to Ellen, I thought that was just chef kiss, like hopeful, optimistic, wholesome wonderfulness of awesome. And then the episode that made me fall in love with this show was season 1, episode 5, Into the Abyss, which was the alternate Apollo 15 mission to the Shackleton crater. That's where Ed and Molly risk it all to discover ice. And also we really get to see the Wayne Cobb dynamic with Karen Baldwin as well. And just so well done. So those are ones that just bowl to the top for me.
Even just episode 1, the first 15 minutes or so. Yeah, it's so good.
Set up, so good. Yeah. And I loved, they subvert expectations really well with the Apollo 11 mission, the ambiguity of did they land, did they not, are they dead?
Everybody's somber and
and then that ending again, just the hope core is a term that I've heard here talking about. Project Hail Mary is totally fitting there as well.
What is this? Project what?
Project Hail Mary. Did you read the book? Did you listen to the audio book? Oh my gosh, you're trolling.
I thought it was a movie.
Yes, all of the above is true. And I honestly think you could go in either order there, because to me, the movie is based on the book and it follows the book very truly, but also its own parallel universe where they both exist and they're both amazing.
This weekend, we're supposed to go see Trolls 6. So I'm going to see that. And then maybe I'll see that after the next movie we see.
My wife is really stoked about The Devil Wears Prada 2. So we're going to go see that. And I fully expect a popcorn flick and it'll be fine. But I'm like, I could go see Project Hail Mary for the 4th time instead. It's an option. It should be on the table. Yeah, whatever. Just also honorable mention, Jordan emailed in and basically he's really mad that we're really good. He basically really riffs on the Deke Slayton, you're really ticked. You should be ticked, like in the first episode. And I'm keeping my language clean because that's how I roll. But he does throw out, Brian, and a couple of people have already mentioned it, Star City. Are we going to cover Star City? That's the big question that people have been asking us. So we actually have talked about this.
We've talked about it. And the plan right now is to do it.
Yes.
Let's go. I'm excited. For us, and we kind of mentioned this is a passion project of ours. Yeah. We've got families, we've got jobs.
Yes.
And we
$0 and lots of hours here.
Yeah. We make no money off of this. We might have ads going if you're listening.
Brian is paying dozens of dollars to make sure we stay hosted.
Yeah. I pay $15 a month or something. And then we get nothing. So this is,
and we're not asking for
passion. We're not asking. Yeah, I'm not trying to beg you for money.
Yeah,
but so all that to say, we enjoy doing this. We enjoy the opportunity. We're college roommates.
Yeah,
this is that we live in different cities, so I love the time we get together.
Yeah, great.
So all to say, yes, but there may be some irregularity through the summer, but we'll get it done.
We've done a good job with really releasing these on Saturdays, recording these on Saturday morning, which is when we're doing it right now. By the way, you can actually watch us live on X. What's the handle on that? If you wanted to watch
Kings of Media 99 on X.
I just called it X, not Twitter.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, that was weird.
And also on YouTube. We're not live on YouTube. I need to take some time to figure that out, but we put the episode up there.
Yeah, it does get posted on the YouTubes as well. So if you want to see our early mugs,
our shining faces.
Brian is wearing a blazer today. I'm wearing some nerdy, like, warning, I'm going to talk to you about airplanes shirt because nerd. Oh, just honorable mention here. Jordan also says this. He says, P.S. Danny Stevens being alive is so ridiculous. That said, my wife said that maybe he is alive after seeing his daughter come back. And I just stared at her. Only if she knew that there was a podcast where this guy truly believes this. Never will I tell her, though.
I'm saying
can't have two people on this planet with this absurd conspiracy.
Thank you, Jordan. That's ridiculous is to ignore every breadcrumb that the writers have given us. You're willfully ignorant if you think Danny Stevens is for sure dead. That's all I've got to say on that.
You're hilarious. Man, I can't wait for next week. There's a lot of directions that can go. And I'm really excited to see how it plays out. And for an episode that I didn't care about, at least the uncut version of this, we're like an hour and 22 minutes in, which I think is the longest of anything that we've recorded so far, maybe outside of Ed's death. So there you go.
Yeah, and we're in the end game. So we've got 3 episodes. We've got 7, 8, 9, 10, or 4. Sorry, yeah,
7, 8, 9, 10.
I can't count.
Yep, math is hard.
So we don't have time to mess around. So we need to get things moving.
Yep, indeed. So can't wait to continue on this journey with you all, especially you, Brian. And we look forward to hearing from you. Those reviews matter. Emails matter. happyvalleyfam@gmail.com. We do reply to those emails as well, by the way. And by we, usually it's me, but every once in a while, Brian,
it's usually Johnny.
Too. But he's paying the bills, and I respond to the emails. There you go.
It's tough.
Indeed. I believe that's it for this week. Thank you so much for joining us. We can't wait to recap episode 7 with you next week. But until then, bye, Bob.
Bye, Bob.